As a philosopher and philosophical counselor, one big question I'm constantly working on is how we can push through, grow, and even turn suffering into opportunities. At some point, we all hit those tough spots in life that really test our resilience. One common scenario where people lose the engine of perseverance is when the odds don't seem to turn in our favor and when there's no endpoint in sight. This is when we begin to feel that all the suffering and pain are meaningless. For example, for a frustrated job seeker, every day as an unemployed person before potentially landing a job can feel like a pointless ordeal. For a business owner facing setbacks, every effort may seem like a never-ending struggle that leads nowhere. For a patient dealing with a critical illness, each day can feel like a battle against the pain and uncertainty with no guarantee of recovery in sight. Human beings are incredibly resilient when the future feels secure and when we can see tangible progress. That is, we are much more capable of overcoming difficulties and pain when the future is relatively clear and seems to be improving. However, when the future becomes elusive and uncertain, we can feel like being stuck in a state of stagnation for an unknown period of time. And in those moments, the real challenge we face is that we can no longer appreciate the present. The present feels empty, and our efforts feel futile. In the worst cases, this can spiral into a dark situation where it feels like there's nothing to hold on to and nothing to live for. And all the suffering seems to be in vain and we simply want to give up trying. This is exactly what Viktor Frankl, an existential psychotherapist and Holocaust survivor of 4 concentration camps, experienced and bravely overcame. So, in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he recounts the experience in the concentration camps and shares his insights into the human capacity to persevere. He observed that prisoners often died less from the lack of food or medicine, but from a lack of hope, a lack of something to live for. And in situations where the chances of making it through are very slim and there is no clear indication of when the suffering would end, those who lose all sense of meaning and hope are often the first to give up on life long before their physical bodies gave out. And in such dire situations, mental resilience and having a sense of purpose are even more crucial for survival than physical strength. And contrary to the French existentialist philosopher and novelist Albert Camus, who believed that life is meaningless and we must endure it with a rebellious attitude, just like Sisyphus, fully aware of his futile task, yet still finding personal freedom in defiance, Viktor Frankl offers a different perspective. He argues that what we should do is not to endure the meaninglessness of life, but rather to bear our incapacity to grasp the unconditional meaningfulness in rational terms. So it's not that life is meaningless or my suffering is meaningless, every day is a futile attempt to change my situation. Rather, life is very meaningful and I can turn this suffering into something that is beneficial for my growth. It's just that I haven't found out the answer yet. I'm going to keep finding it out until I turn this situation into something that is useful for me. So instead of succumbing to the despair of a perceived meaningless existence and futile suffering, we should shift our focus to striving to find a sense of purpose and significance in all conditions, even if it's beyond our immediate understanding and rational comprehension. And for Frankl, this unwavering belief that life has inherent meaning is what provides people the strength and creativity to endure in the most difficult situations possible. I'm Sejia Yan, a philosopher, writer, and philosophical counselor. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Bye.